The migrant crisis. I think most of us know that this is a color revolution activity. You know, George Soros has done many things throughout this world where he called them color revolutions, different colors in different countries, where these subversion techniques were used. It's a secret society thing. He's basically just the front man. I think most of us also understand that those migrants didn't travel 1,000 miles in just a few days, that there had to been transportation. You see some of them holding bullhorns and different things where they had to be given this stuff. Okay? But when it comes to the situation we have on the border, we have to ask, what the heck is really going on? Okay? Is it a subversion technique to push more funding and more action on the wall? Is it trying to show one side against the other? Is it trying to really show how much power the New World Order has? And I think that's a big part of it, because when you really look at it, when it comes down to it, we got to take this into consideration. Okay, we're going to look at this real quick. We're going to play it, and you can see they're firing tear gas. And the big problem with them firing tear gas from America into Mexico is that's an act of war. Okay? Now, we have country A and we have country B. You fire a projectile from country A at country B, that's an act of war. Okay? In theory, we basically declared war on Mexico. But because they're all in on this big game, this big show, and, you know, there's not going to be a problem. You know, if I was Mexico and a bunch of Americans just shot my country with tear gas or anything else, I would have a serious issue with it. But, you know, apparently it's not an issue. Okay? And
I'm creating my Wix site. You think you already have a stunning website? That's cool. You're welcome to skip or create your site now at wix.com. There are hundreds of beautiful templates to choose.
that down. But yeah, you can't fire stuff at another country. Do we want to stop migrants and all these tons of people just invading the border? Sure, it makes sense to. Do we want to fire bullets or projectiles or tear gas at other countries? In a rational society, one that's not already involved in the New World Order, you know, that wouldn't be possible. Okay, kind of shows you that this New World Order has already begun, because you just can't fire shit at other countries. It's not normal practice. You know, it's something that you can't do. Okay. So when you see it happening, you have to question it. Why are we firing shit at Mexico? You know, that would be like me going down to the border because I'm right near Canada, saying, hey, I'm just going to shoot shit at Canada. Okay, well, you can't. That's declaring war on Canada. You know? Of course, there'd never be a reason to declare war on Canada, because what are we going to do? What are we going to fight them for? You know, the only time Canadians come here is when they want to buy stuff and, you know, be polite. And yeah, that's too bad that not everybody in the world, you know, has a border like that. You know, I mean, they do, I guess, in Europe, where, you know, France gets along with Germany and other European countries. That's why they're part of the European nation. But, you know, not everybody in the world is nice. And yes, we do need to stop the bad people. But when those people are subverted in their own countries and need to come here, okay, it's what America's all about. But would they have to come here in the first place if the CIA wasn't using NGOs like the USAID and the Republican and Democrat foundations to subvert different governments, which causes strife for those people that were part of that subversion, and they have to get out of Dodge. So, in theory, our policies being pushed on other countries is what subverts those countries, causing revolution, causing strife in their own governments, and causing people to be displaced. I think in this case, these migrants were planned. People having so much trouble in their country. Hey, come join up on this little caravan. Come to America. And promised all kinds of bullshit so that, they can be part of this psyop. That's my honest opinion of what happened. But either way, we have morons in military uniforms at the border thinking they're protecting the country, not understanding that this was planned subversion. And these people on both sides, whether they're the people in the military or the migrants themselves, are basically pawns in the bigger game. Unfair to both of them. It's unfair to the brainwashed military that we have and police. And it's unfair to the migrants that got talked into this shit. Listen, if you have some kids and you're struggling in your country, you're promised opportunity in another, who's to blame them for wanting to come? Somebody offers you a few bucks to, get on this caravan and come be a part of this and have the opportunity possibly to get into America. Who can blame them for wanting to? Especially if they have no food or proper housing where they live. Even though when you talk about things like Venezuela, where U.S. aid intentionally subverted that country, overthrowing a government that was doing well. They had a good oil economy and were prospering for many years until our country decides to go there and subvert their government. And then you displace people by, causing mass hysteria in society and, separating, dividing different peoples, causing one peoples to hate another peoples. And then those peoples that are hated got to move. Where are they going to go? In theory, what I'd like to see happen is all those people that work for USAID and the CIA take those people in. You know what? You caused these crises. Come live at George Soros' house. Go live at Mr. CIA operator's house. Go live at Mr. USA's house, because these people subverted your government, screwed up your life, got you involved in this stupid migrant crisis, and next thing you know, you're here. Might not actually even be your fault that you're here. You made the best decision that you could make at the time you were being offered that decision. It's a crazy world we live in, where they will play with people's lives, okay? And just because they're brown people or different colored people, different nation, it doesn't matter. When you're playing with people's lives, giving them false hope, making them promises, you yourself have an obligation to back that up. What they're doing, again, going back to natural law, is breaking natural law by harming these people, by getting them involved in these things for your own political gain. Can't blame the people. Okay? Sure, we don't want to get Russian migrants. Understandable. Okay? Totally understandable. But that's not the case. The case is, this is an organized infiltration and a subversion of a group of people. And somebody needs to be held accountable. And you can't hold the people in the military accountable for just doing what they're told, even though what they're doing is wrong, because you can't fire on another country. You just can't. All right? That's declaring war. You just declared war. That's what blows my mind. I mean, I don't know what idiots were out there shoving tear gas at Mexico. You can't do that. Now, they come over the border. They break through the fence. You can shoot tear gas at them. America, that's usually pretty common. Don't go along with that. Don't like it. But that's legitimate. You start lobbing tear gas at Mexico, that's an act of war. Okay? Of course, we know America, just like Mexico, is involved in this New World Order. Therefore, it being a one world schmeal, I guess it doesn't really matter, does it? But it matters to me. It matters to me because, I'd like to see America stay America. and not be a part of this one world of agenda of making people believe different things and think different things, all based on subversion, based in the criminality of the CIA and other NGOs. But this is the world we live in today. You know, bad idea, lobbing anything at another country. You can't do that. You can't fire a weapon, whether it's just shooting a tear gas canister or if it's shooting a bullet. You can't shoot at another country. You know, you got police on both sides, military on both sides of the border. You lob a can of tear gas, it hits one of Mexico's military in the head, killing them. You more than, declared war. You started a fight. This is a problem. And whether the rich people are behind it or the CIA, which basically are behind all the rich people in the first place once you really study it, this action that's going on is a problem. Migrants aren't a problem. It's the people behind the migrants. It's always that person behind it. The person pushing them forward. That's the problem. And anytime you look into this stuff, you can find an NGO or some CIA bullshit behind it. That's what we need to stop. If they weren't pushing them forward, these people wouldn't be going forward. Till next time.